up, my friends? Dobro veče. Charles here. I know it's late. I wasn't even going to do this video today because I just woke up from a nap. Yesterday, 15.4 kilometers. And it's not just walking in place. I got a pedometer, but I mean, those things are silly. But mine was actually 15 kilometers of walking all towards Sremski Karlovci, all the way through Petrovaradin, all the way around the city, 15.4 on these legs. Today, I just got up. You can watch my video that I posted earlier today. I was just going to go outside the house and take a little walk to the bus station and back. But I get there and then I thought, why not go just a little further than a little further? And then I ended up going 12.4 kilometers. I put a lot on and I haven't slept. I've been going to bed at like midnight. Woke up this morning at 3 o'clock like that. I'm up, you know, straszno, braszno. I don't know what's wrong with me. But anyway, I laid down. I had some talk to my bosses about what's going on with our program. I talked to a bunch of my friends. I answered a lot of emails and messages, and then I took a nap. I felt so good. And then I had a knock about noon. Somebody called my phone. Delivery. Oh, look at this stuff. 3 bottles. From my new friend, Nenad Krstic, big, tall Partizan player. So now I got to start liking Partizan. He used to play for Partizan. My buddy Sasha Vujicic, Hovala, brate moj. He's watching me here. He got me in touch with Nenad Krstic, another NBA player. I remember watching Nenad Krstic when he played with Oklahoma. He was drafted by the Nets. He was also a first-round pick, just like Sasha. But the gentleman was kind enough. He sent me a message. He said he wanted me to send me some of his Rakija. He asked what kind I liked. I just said, surprise me. I mean, I'm honored to get anything. I thought he was going to send me 1 bottle. He sent me 3. Look at the label. Some of these Serbian Rakijas are just phenomenal. Look at that. I cannot wait to try it. Troglau. We got Rakija from Šljiva. I got Rakija from Kruška. This is plum. Šljiva's plum. Kruška, pear, and Kaisia. Oh, man. Did you see the slobber? Can't wait to try this one, man. Oh, it's got a signature on the back there. Mr. Gospodine Krstic Havala Tipuno. Havala Vampuno, I should say. I should show you respect, right? Totally appreciate you. Very, very kind of you, sir. And you, Sasha, thank you, brother. You're the best. Can't wait to have some of your wine when I get out to California this summer. My best friend lives in LA, so I'm going to visit you whenever I come out there. Anyway, can't wait to try that. I'll sample that tomorrow. So let's get to business here. I don't want to make a long video. I wasn't even going to make one today. My level of motivation is here. But a few of you said, Charlie, keep making it because I want to hear. So I'm just doing it for you, doing it out of love. Okay? Do I look sincere? Cases in Serbia. Let's get serious here. No joking. Still can't wait to try this. Kaisina. Kruška too. I might just, I'm going to not. Still haven't eaten anything. Cases here in Serbia, 7,114. We surpassed 7,000 cases. We're right ahead of Czech Republic at this moment. We passed Australia, 7,114. That's up 224. They tested over, I forget what I said, like 1,500 or 2,000. Forgive me. I didn't write it down. I don't want to say it. It was not 1,000. It was way more than 1,000. That would be 20%. Anyway, 224 up and 134 deceased. 4 deceased just yesterday. 4 passed on just yesterday. God rest their souls. What's going on in the news? Let's start with the economy here. Sinisa Mali, because we all love Sinisa Mali. He added me on LinkedIn. Gospodin. He said, the Serbia had that economic stimulus package. Of that, he said 169,000 companies have given their bank information for payments from the Serbian government for government aid. 169,000 companies. Jeez. And he said there's 135,000 still have not provided their bank details. That's a lot of companies, Wow. He said 52 companies had applied for over $1 billion dinars in loans from the development fund. And all of this is on top of 6.9 billion dinars in tax and dues that are being deferred. So man, wow, we got to get this company back and rolling. And it is kind of rolling. As I showed you yesterday, some of the shops are opening up. You saw some footage here from a Canadian gentleman who's stuck here in Novi Sad. He sent me that from the Ribola Piazza. Things are coming alive here slowly. But slowly, and the government doesn't want it to go any quicker because they're scared because of this, it's going to create a second wave. Or we're not even done with the first one, they say. But anyway, all Belgrade markets, piazzas were open with the exception of Paluluska and Stari Mrkator. I always bowl there with my buddy Jabac. It's that bowling alley in Stari Mrkator. They're not open. They're open. These piazzas are going to be open 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. every day except curfews. But they all must be wearing PPE. You must stay 2 meters from each other, etc. But the other shops are opening. If you watch my other video, you'll see other little shops are opening up here. So it's great to see. What else? When we talk about something I misled the folks yesterday on, I said, according to one news source, it was kind of confusing. Jako malo razumem srpski. So I can read and understand some things, but sometimes I get a little bit confused. And so I said that they were going to be they were going to be allowing freedom of movement, Prvi May and Đurđevdan, but that was false information. One of the guys, who was this? Secretary Lonchar, he said there's going to be no lifting of the current no lifting of the current curfew or practices before May 1st. He said there's no way that they're going to lift this. He had also mentioned one of the epidemiologists, I forget his name, not Predrag Khan. I'm not going to even mention him today because everybody gets mad. I don't know why. It's sad for me, like Fauci in the United States. People throw a fit about a doctor giving medical advice. I think there's so many conspiracy theories out there. And I just think I don't know, maybe it's just me. It's just my opinion. I have a right to an opinion, but I think it's silly. These doctors have sacrificed their entire childhood, their youth, or not their childhood, but their university days. They studied, they worked hard, they had huge student loans in the United States anyway, to study medicine, to save lives. So I don't think they're going to be swayed that much by who's in charge. They don't care. They're there to save lives and to provide scientific data, and that's what we should be following. I'm not an epidemiologist. I don't know jack shit about anything, but I want a doctor who's not going to be swayed by politics to tell me the truth, So anyway, whenever I quote Predrag Khan, the only reason I do is because I find it online, and he should be a legitimate source of information, right? So hate him, love him, I don't care. I don't have an opinion of him, except I just want the truth. So I'm finding information and spewing it out of my mouth to all of you folks. Okay? Anyway, this other epidemiologist, I'm not even going to tell you his name. He said there will be no mitigation of measures that are currently in place, curfews, social distancing, etc., for at least another 2 weeks. And 2 weeks from today would be to Đurđevdan, right? Because that's on the 6th of May, if I'm not mistaken. He said there's going to be, about curfews, we're going to find that out tomorrow. I guess Vučić is going to speak tomorrow and discuss the curfews. Serbia, what else? Oh yeah, this is kind of funny. The High Representative of the Union of Foreign Affairs and Security for the European Union, his name is Josip Borrell, he said, it was an article that about the big billboards in Belgrade and all around Serbia, thanking President Xi Jinping for his donations and being a brother to Serbia. He had a quote here about that. He said, "If you could go to Belgrade, you would see billboards on the main streets of President Xi Jinping saying, 'Thanks, brother Xi, you are the only one to help us.'" Which is funny because there's no billboards with EIU thank yous, and we've helped a lot. So it sounds like a little jealousy there from the European Union about all the billboards. That's a billboard here, it flashes through things, and then there's a big Chinese flag and Xi Jinping on it. I was like, oh, I don't like to see that. Serbia was in the sans frontières. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It looks like a French word. But they were compiling a list, a ranking of media countries, the media freedoms in countries all around the world. Okay. Out of 180 countries on the list, Serbia dropped 3 points from last year. Serbia media freedom is at 93 out of 180. It said it's the lowest in this whole entire region, with the exception of Montenegro, that's at 105. So Djukanovic, what are you doing down there? And it said in there, it's becoming dangerous to be a journalist here in Serbia. It's kind of scary. I'm kind of a journalist. Maybe I'll end up with a bullet in my brain, huh? The United Nations High Commission for Refugees had their bi-weekly report issued. It says, here in the last 2 weeks, no refugees have tested positive for coronavirus. I found that kind of hard to believe. I wonder how many they've tested. It says, also a few days ago, I did not hear about this until right here. It said, on the 17th of April, 16 refugees and 2 Serb smugglers were crossing a boat in the Danube, sneaking into Romania when the boat capsized. 8 of the foreign refugees are missing. Nobody knows. They haven't found them. 1 Syrian drowned. He was of Syrian descent. He's deceased, so God rest his soul. 9 of them were rescued by the Romanian Coast Guard. So I wonder if they have any updates on those 8 missing. I mean, that's really, really sad. Even though they're breaking the law, you know, I mean, that's a terrible thing. So I hope they found those folks. It said here in the last 2 weeks, 413 new refugees were logged. 98% of those 413 came from the border at North Macedonia, 2% from Albania, it said. That's a big increase from the previous 2 weeks. There was 81 new arrivals, refugee arrivals. Now it's 413, so that's creeping up. And it said currently here in Serbia, there's 8,835 that are refugees that are being accommodated in the centers here in Serbia. And of those, 3,815 are Afghani, 1,600 are Syrian, 1,006 are Pakistani, and 630 from Bangladesh. Wow. I didn't realize there was that many Afghans. You know, I'm a guy who has a heart, and I've told you my opinion on the refugee situation. I know I met when I was coming home from the Nargila bar one night after going out with my friends, I bumped into 3 refugees. I just said hello, and I was being friendly. They came up, I took a picture with them, we chatted. 2 from Pakistan, 1 from Afghanistan. The Afghan kid was very, very well-spoken, great English, came from a good family in Afghanistan. I really feel for them. So I'm really, you know, they're breaking the law. They should be sent home. But I want nothing but good things. I gave him my WhatsApp, and he messages me frequently here. And I always wish him well, and I hope things go well. But there's so many Afghanis here. I mean, I hate to see that. I know they want a better life, but you gotta follow the law, you know? America's a country of immigrants, and I don't like Donald Trump, but Donald Trump has been the first one to actually put it on the spot and let people know you can't just come in and stay illegally. I can't do that here. I follow the law. We should all do that. Also, the United Nations High Commission for Refugees has appealed to the Serbian government to include people without documents, to allow them in soup kitchens, humanitarian aid, and welfare. I guess there's some sort of documentation you need for specific social program assistance here in Serbia. But that's so unfair for the Serbian government to have to accommodate people who do not have, IDs and things. Just like the Roma population. How can a country, because a lot of the Roma, the gypsy here, a lot of the gypsies don't have documentation. Somebody said they don't have IDs. I think they're treated differently than the regular people. A regular Serbian citizen, or me, who's walking down the street, the police, if they ask us for ID, we have to show it to them or we can be put in jail. The gypsies, the Roma, they don't even ask. They let them just free reign here. And I think that's wrong. But anyway, back to my point. If the government, to be able to figure out how much to put in their budget for soup kitchens, for aid, for things like that, they have to have a number of folks. So how can a lot of these communities that don't even have documentation, they don't even bother, how can the government be responsible to assist those people? If they're not going to take the trouble to register and do things so the government can actually count them, I don't know. I'm sounding really jerky here. I need to go to bed again. Lastly, Jasenovac, that really dastardly goosebumps when I think about it. The concentration camp across the border. This is the 75th anniversary of its closing, of its liberation. Jasenovac's camp, they said that was one of the few for kids. They had a section just for children. And if you ever get a chance to visit Banja Luka, the capital, if you will, of Republika Srpska, there's a really interesting museum. It's one of my most memorable museums that I've been in because I thought it was so interesting being an American, always hearing the negative side of this, that the Serbians were the aggressors and everything is what we always hear. And then to go in there and see the totally different viewpoint of that in a museum in it. It was very fascinating to me. But they had a really sad, horrible section just on Jasenovac's camp. I did a video of it. You can look up my videos from Republika Srpska and see it. But there was a section just for children. I mean, that's just unfathomable for me. Anyway, the president of Croatia, the prime minister, and the head of the Croat parliament, along with the minority groups, the Serb community, they all went there. They laid wreaths, stone flowers, I think they called them. But in that camp, just some rough figures that are listed, if you look it up. It says right around 50,000 some Serbians perished, 20,000 some Roma or Gypsy, 20,000 some Jews, and 10 to 12,000 Croats and Bosniaks. So just you don't hear a lot about Jasenovac. You hear lots about, Auschwitz and some of those, but you don't hear much about that one. So if you're a foreigner, just look it up. Look up Jasenovac's death camp. I would like to visit that area. I was kind of close. I know roughly where it's at because I took a bus from Osijek to Slovenski Brod and then down into Republika Srpska. So it's in that general vicinity. Anyway, moment of silence for those who perished in Jasenovac. And that's it, my friends. That's it for day number 37 here. I'll be back for day number 38, I guess. Have a good night. Can't wait till tomorrow. I'm going to try my Krstic Troglow.